Hey there, folks. In this video, I want to spend some time talking about ways in which you can create income abroad. And I know that's been one of the challenges that people tend to have when it comes to moving abroad. The question I get probably 20 to 30 times a week is, what do I do about income? So I wanted to kind of go through these exercises. And if you're going to be coming to the Moving Abroad Summit, we're going to talk about it in detail. But I wanted to go live with you guys because I wanted to have a better understanding as what your industry is, like maybe some of the things that you are doing or what your profession is. So you can type those into the comments so that we can kind of do some brainstorming together. I think live is the best way to do that because sometimes it's really long to type it. And if we can just have a conversation and kind of deal with some of the limiting beliefs or fear or inability to kind of feel like you can think creatively to figure out how you can transition what you currently do into a digital world. So, with COVID, a lot of us are actually working from home. And so more people are getting comfortable with that. And maybe you feel like you want a job to provide you income. But even if that is the case, hey, Trisha, be more specific in regards to cybersecurity. But yeah, everyone, go ahead and put your industry there. Like, how would clients work with you? Like, because cybersecurity is like a big, massive thing. So if you can be a little bit more specific on that, I will be sure to kind of help you brainstorm with that. At any rate, guys, when you're coming in, thanks for joining me. What I want to do is kind of create dialogue today so we can brainstorm what your industry is and how you can maybe digitize that. Hey, Yolanda. So if you're in a particular industry or you're doing things specifically, go ahead and put in the comments what your industry is, and then we'll talk about how you can make that digital. So again, guys, remember, a lot of you are already working from home right now. And if you are not in a secure server, then you can pretty much do that in another country. Okay. So just consider that. So I have some notes that I'm going to go over really quickly. So if you are considering doing digital work, there's a couple of things you're going to need. And you're going to need this particularly if you are branding yourself. Okay. And I do encourage that because even if you have a job, we know it's COVID. We know we're going to go through a global recession. So it is important to kind of start to work on your personal brand. And the way to work on your personal brand, you're going to need a couple tools. So let me pull up. So one of the tools you're going to need is a website, period. Okay. I need you to get a website. Now, if you're not ready for the website yet, the second thing that you need is a must. You're going to need an email marketing software. So many of you, I'm able to communicate with you because you're on my list and I'm able to send you an email. So if I have a questions or I'm selling a service or I'm doing whatever, I'm able to communicate with you directly. The reason why that is important is because if you're not doing ads, you being able to communicate directly with your potential clients is like the most important thing. So if you don't have a website right now, I don't want you to stress, but you definitely want to look into getting the email software. The third thing is you need a way to accept payment. Depending on what you're doing will depend on how you'll do it, whether you're sending electronic invoices that you're going to be invoicing your client, whether people are just going to charge a card using some type of payment software. It really depends, and we'll kind of talk about that in a bit. So, all right. So some of you are lovely enough to tell me what your industries are. Hey, from Jamaica, HR recruiting. So let me ask you this, Miss R 2020. The question I have for you, are you recruiting for a particular industry? So there are certain recruiters that will just recruit for medical people. They'll recruit for wherever. And HR recruiting, you can totally do that for home. Totally do that independently. If you are doing it for a corporation right now, I would imagine, but I'm not sure, that you may have in your contract that you are not allowed to do the same thing that your job is. But if you're working independently, this could be a good look. So kind of consider industry specific things and how you can find people and connect them with whatever that industry is. So let me get an example. So let's say you're a recruiter that deals specifically with finding professors for colleges. So you would need to find professors and then you would need to connect the colleges. So if you're in the medical field recruiting, this is again, as an example, if you pick an industry that is different from the current industry in which you're recruiting, far as I know, your contract may allow you to do that. So the skill of recruiting is kind of the same. It's just the industry in which you're recruiting for is going to vary. Okay. So you can still do that and brand yourself to do recruiting for a completely separate industry if in fact you are working for a job doing this and you don't want to have a conflict of interest. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Linda, how are you? Virtual assistant just starting out. Hey, okay, so that's perfect. I mean, you already got the working abroad situation. Okay, wholesale, financial, manufacturing, field, sales, and customer service. So those are a whole bunch of different industries together. Wholesaling is going to be different than customer service. Obviously, that's a portion of it, but it's going to be different. So I need a little bit more clarity on that one to brainstorm with that. Okay, office manager, executive assistant. Again, you know, you can do a lot of this stuff online. So I think a part of you all may already know many of the things you can do online. Maybe your issue is actually finding clients. So if it's finding clients, tap that in the chat and let me know if that's what the issue is. Okay, what do we have? Tech industry, data analysis. Also, I'm working as a real estate investing. Okay, let's look at this. Tech industry as a data analyst, but also I'm working on real estate investing as well. So I would like to do that abroad. So, okay, so Teresa, if in fact you want to do real estate and investing abroad, you know or may not know that there is a lot to that because it depends on the country. It depends on if you're a foreigner, if you're not a foreigner, and providing or being the resource to tell people how to do that. You can consult that. You know what I'm saying? You can make a business specifically on that. And what I would advise you to do is start to create content. It's going to be extremely hard to know or advise someone how to purchase real estate in all the countries if you're not there, particularly if you haven't gone there and researched it. So I would say maybe find a country that might be popular and research that completely so that you can be a resource to someone who's interested in purchasing property there. And then you develop your content that helps support that. And then you bring the people who are serious in for consultations, or you can get a commission based on anyone you refer to, let's say a particular real estate agent or broker or that type of thing. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm on the site. It's an on-site job. Have no idea how I can transfer that to online work. I do retail inventory management. I don't think I all the way know what that means. Could you be more specific? And then I'll help you brainstorm that. But guys, what I want you to realize is that the skills that you have, other people need it. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be there physically. It could mean that there is a particular problem or issue in that industry that comes up a lot. And because you have expertise in it, you may know how to solve said problem. So creating content that would solve that problem or give advice is going to be helpful, and it's going to be valuable. What I want you all to remember is that I know when you think about yourself personally, you downplay how brilliant you are. You downplay all the expertise and all the information that you have in your head. And sometimes if you've been working for a corporation forever, you may only kind of identify with that corporation in regards to your worth. So I encourage you to just know like that this retail inventory management is a big thing, and other people are going to need that. And just kind of consider some of the things that you do on site. Is there some of those skills that can be translated to people with e-commerce business? And if so, what is that? I imagine that you have a lot of expertise that an e-commerce business would be able to use. So you could technically consult with e-commerce people or get more education on the e-commerce side to see how you would be beneficial. Because if you've been doing it on site for so long, you can potentially offer that benefit and sell yourself. So let's say you did this for, I don't know, Nordstrom. Because you have that as your credibility, all you would have to learn is how to transition some of the stuff that you do there to, let's say, an e-commerce business, and then sell that to various people who are trying to increase their sales in e-commerce, or at least their efficiency. Okay, so hope that helps a little bit. Okay. Let me also see what I put up on here on these random tools. Okay, so tools to consider: your current position. Is there a way you can digitize your skill set? So that's what we're doing right now. You guys are throwing in some of the industries that you are working in, and then we're going to try and brainstorm and see how you can kind of make that digitized. Okay, where are we? Nonprofit recruiting for nonprofit companies. Listen, recruiting is a thing you could totally do. You could totally do online. So if you're doing it for a specific company, or are you working independently? Miss R 2020. Let me know if you're doing it for a company or if you're doing it specific, and if that company will allow you to do it, let's say, in another industry, or at all. Because based on certain contracts, sometimes your companies, won't let you do that. So let's talk about that. Okay, let's see what we have here. Project management consultant. So if you're project manager, if you're doing project management, everybody needs that. But what you have to tell me or decide is what industry, because project management, you can, that can go so many different places. If we're talking government, if we're talking, a bunch of things. So tell me what the industry is, and then you can just focus specifically on this industry. Guys, I'm not sure if you all are doing this stuff. When you type your questions, tell me if you're working for a company or if you're doing this independently. Because if you're doing project management independently, you just want to create information or marketing for yourself that says the specific industry that you work with. So let me give you an example. When you are going to market yourself, you have to get very niche specific. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs initially, when they are just starting off, they think, I want to sell my business to everybody. And that can burn you out. Okay. And you want to go niche specific because you want your customer to believe that you know how to solve their specific problem. So let's say you're an accountant. You may be able to do accounting for a variety of different industries, but let's say you have restaurant owners. Restaurant owners are going to have a completely different set of issues than, let's say, people who own gyms, or people who, why can't I think of another industry? Restaurant owners versus, why can't I think? See, this is what happens when you go live, because my brain just died on me like that. Why can't I think of another industry? I don't know. You own clothing stores. You own a series of retail. So restaurants and retail, they're going to have a different set of issues. So if you're an accountant, you become more valuable because you niched. And then your marketing is going to be substantially easier because you are marketing specifically to restaurant owners, and other restaurant owners will end up referring you, and you kind of have that domino effect. But more importantly, when you want to start marketing online, which I really recommend small businesses do, when you start marketing online, if you niche it down, you can have a better conversion rate of people who want to work with you versus you just saying you work with everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, even think about your life. You want something very specific and exclusive when you have a problem to be solved. You don't want someone who's saying, I do hair, I do accountant. You know what I mean? You want someone real specific to know what they're doing. So I encourage you to kind of niche it down. So I hope that's making sense. Okay, so the nomadic Jamaican, in the process of creating a website. Not sure I want to connect payment with my website. Why not? I'm a bit paranoid about doing that. I don't even know why you're paranoid, huh? That's an important part of, of a website, is connecting payment. Hey there, Ivy. I'm in healthcare management and bilingual in Spanish and working on adding Portuguese to my list. Thank you for the recommendations and suggestions. Absolutely. You got a lot of good stuff working for you, Ivy, because you're bilingual in Spanish. You can do a variety of things. If you want, you can just, teach Spanish to people online. And you can just set that up. I would recommend some YouTube ads or things like that. So guys, I'm biased. I love YouTube and I do digital marketing, and I almost require all of my clients to get on YouTube. And the reason for that is because, again, and y'all probably don't hear me talk about this often, but YouTube is the second largest search engine. That's a big deal. And so when people come on there, they're specifically looking for something. And if you provide them what they're looking for, you develop a level of trust that's just really hard to do any other way. So if you teach them what they need, you're able to do that, and you're able to get people at a level that is just, it's millions and millions of people of YouTube. And so the good thing about this digital economy is you don't have to just work with people who are in your city, in your town, or even your country. So if you maybe do some YouTube ads, letting people know if they're interested in learning Spanish, to come over to your Spanish education channel. And for those who want to actually go and have more conversations and do something more intimate, then you can, sell them a monthly membership to get that type of training. So you straight, girl, in both healthcare and in being bilingual in Spanish. So I hope that helps. Okay, who we got here? Sorry, y'all. This thing goes faster than I can move. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. And again, if you're just now coming in, feel free to put in your industry that you're in, and we're going to brainstorm together so that we can kind of help you think about how you can convert your skill to something digital. So, okay, retail management, literally track products on sales floors, place orders, and so track purchases. Okay, grocery industry. So this is a big deal because you still can transition this into the e-commerce market as well, because there are a lot of tracking, shipping, all of that. I mean, I'm not sure if you're educated in the e-commerce market, but there's a bunch of e-commerce boutiques out there, or people who want to start e-commerce stuff, and based on the knowledge that you're doing every day, you can really help them be more efficient in their process. And I would definitely recommend that. I mean, so where you're doing it currently, you do have to be there, but you might just want to learn some more skills, spend some time on YouTube University, and Google University, and really get this digital marketing thing, digital e-commerce thing down. And then you can easily kind of transition that same skill and that same expertise that you have into the digital e-commerce space, because e-commerce is huge right now. I mean, as with COVID, the main thing that was still working was e-commerce. I mean, everybody who had e-commerce and stores and things like that, they were still making money because people were still at home purchasing. So if you don't know about e-commerce, or the biggest platform, Shopify is the one that I use, definitely take the weekend and gather every bit of information you possibly can, and consider being, that consultant, because you have a massive amount of expertise based on what you've been doing. So I hope that helps. Okay, so let me go back really quickly. Okay, guys, again, if you're just now joining us, go ahead and put your industry in the comment box, and we'll brainstorm as to how you can digitize your services to other people. Okay, so what else is on my sheet? Okay, let's make this bigger. How do I make it bigger? Okay, there we go. Your current position, is there a way to digitize your skill set? So that's what we're talking about here. Now, can you learn a new skill? Guys, sometimes it's just a matter of taking some time and something that you're interested in and just researching it to death. Okay. And then you are now not an expert, but you know more about this field. And so because of that, you can offer guidance to people that are just learning. I mean, even look at what this channel is. Let's be real. I moved to Portugal. I didn't know what I was doing. Still don't know what I'm doing. And now I'm providing the resources that I'm starting to learn based on this journey. Okay. So even if it's a software that you want to learn, one of the best ways of learning something is teaching it to other people. And so again, I'm going to do this YouTube plug. Whether it's Photoshop, whether it's a particular software, whether it's how to sew, you can literally do that on YouTube, learn it, and teach other people how to do it. So you'll have an income stream for two reasons. You'll have, of course, you can Google AdSense and you can make money off of that. But in addition to, when you do something like this and you share yourself in front of an audience, you're going to hear the same questions over and over again. People are going to ask you the same questions over and over again. And that is kind of where the product ends up coming. You know what I mean? Like, you'll keep hearing it and then you're like, okay, maybe this is how I can problem solve the issue that people are having. And that is really where the product is. And I know sometimes as entrepreneurs, we will feel like we have this idea for a product and we will go into a hole and create some course. And then you try to sell the course and then nobody's buying it. And more of that is because you didn't even talk to your potential audience about, you didn't talk to your audience to see what they need. So sometimes you're creating products, and many companies, massive, large companies have done the same thing. They'll create a product, never talk to the ideal client to know exactly what they need. And then it goes bust. And think about large companies pay a ton of money for focus groups. Okay. And so the benefit of your social platforms is that they're your right there social groups. They will tell you what they need, what's happening, what's going on. The reason why we are doing this, I'm doing this live right now, is because the emails that you all have been sending me saying, listen, I want to move abroad, but I don't know how to make money. So I'm like, okay, if that's something that I keep hearing, then clearly there's a void there. Let me try to get some information. You follow what I'm saying? So that is you want to take that same type of mindset and attach that to the industry in which you're working in. So mine is a little bit biased because I am an entrepreneur. So I'm going to have a little bit more information on being one because I've been one for so long. But whatever your industry is, you are brilliant in that industry. You are brilliant. And there is someone or companies that need you. But again, going back to what we said earlier, if they can't find you, it's going to be really hard to get those contracts. So that's why I'm telling you, listen, you have to get online. You have to be on a website. And it is not enough to just be on social platforms, okay? Because you don't own any of this. You don't own YouTube. You don't own Instagram. You don't own Facebook, okay? So because you don't own those platforms, they can change and they can do a whole variety of things and you're going to be left in the dark. That's why if anyone is going to create a digital company, the two main things, you need a website and you need an email marketing software. If you don't get the website, you definitely need email marketing software because you need to be able to communicate back and forth with people, okay? So again, I am going to be teaching an in-depth class on this at the Moving Abroad Summit. We're going to spend an hour on this. So if you haven't registered, the last day to register is October 18th because it is a live event and I got to make sure everybody's good before we go live. And so I have to shut down the registration on the 18th, even though the event is on the 20th, okay? So if you're going to register and you haven't already, go do that. The link is in the description of this video. Yeah. So, all right. What else we got? Okay. Thank you. I'm on it. Yes, Aisha, I love that you on it. But I'm now doing YouTube channel. It's growing slowly. Any advice on that? This is a really good question. I have a ton of advice on that. Serena, mostly online, but now doing a YouTube channel. It's growing slowly. Any particular advice? I've niched down, have a blog, Instagram. Oh, girl, you got the whole thing. Okay, so if you are limited on time, Serena, I would say don't even worry about the blog post right now. This may be stuff people don't want to hear, but I'm gonna tell you the truth because a lot of people are just gonna sell you some stuff for a course and it's just unnecessary. So if your whole goal is to make money, so there's kind of two sections when people are doing YouTube. Someone wanting to make money, which ultimately people want to make money, but what I mean, like with AdSense, like with the ads that are on Google, or if you're just trying to be in a platform to bring people to your business, or you could be doing both. But one of the things, and Serena, if you can put your industry down there in the YouTube channel, the thing about YouTube, if you're already monetized, YouTube, wait a minute, let me make sure I read a question. Growing the channel. Okay. So the easiest way is honestly ads. You can do YouTube ads. That's the quickest, easiest way to grow a channel. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for newbies because you can end up putting your money into this and not getting the rate of return you want. But if anyone is trying to start a business online, period, whether it be and grow your YouTube channel, whether it be your e-commerce store, or whether it be your consulting service you want people to know, I am going to recommend that you invest in online ads. That is the only thing that can get strangers to know about you quickly. But remember, I said you need a website and you need an email marketing software. When you are doing things online, far as ads, people may not be ready to purchase from you the moment they meet you. I mean, just think about the times that you may have saw an amazing website or amazing business, and then you had to go cook for your kid, or something happened, or then you wanted to watch TV and you got distracted. So the email marketing software allows you to stay connected with that person. So don't, which I see a lot of people, don't just have a website and say, sign up for my newsletter. Don't nobody want to sign up for your damn newsletter. Don't nobody really want to be giving out emails just so you can be another email in their box. You have to give value. So based on what the niche is, determine what's the most valuable thing you could possibly offer them to get their email address. And then even as you are growing your business, continue to think about how can you create value for this industry of people who want whatever. How do you create value and continue to do that? You know, I'm sitting here online, just running through stuff, but this is kind of what I do with some of my clients. You know what I mean? So of course we go more detail, but this is giving value. And for every form of content that you put out there, that is the ability for someone to find you. So if you don't have a sales team, you can either pay for ads, but definitely you want to produce content. And that content can be blogs, because you said you're blogging, but I would recommend just stay on one platform for now until you grow, because you will burn yourself out. If you try to do Pinterest marketing, blogs, YouTube, Facebook, you will go crazy. And take it from a chick that's done it, okay? And it's a lot. You know, there are companies that pay me and my staff to do all of that for them because it's a lot. So if you're just one person, just focus on one thing. And I would say just focus on YouTube. So the content that you would put on your blog, just put it on YouTube. You just have to remember that YouTube is a search engine optimized type of platform. So it's unlike your Instagrams, it's unlike your Facebooks. So you have to make sure that your title and your content and your description is very SEO focused. So depending on what your industry is, there are probably certain questions and problems that people in your industry need answers to. So if you have those answers, that is what's going to be the title of your YouTube video. So even if you look at my experiences living abroad, I could very well put the name of the people who I'm interviewing. That's not search engine specific. No one can find that, especially if they don't know the person that I'm interviewing. But if I put family of four moves to Mexico, that's a more SEO focused title. You follow what I'm saying? So whatever your industry is, if you want to grow in YouTube and you don't want to pay for ads, you don't have to, that's fine. You got to be more SEO considerate when you are creating your descriptions and when you are creating your titles. It's a whole lot to YouTube. I can't quite all answer it, but if you want, I'll try to create something later about YouTube. I hope I gave you at least something to help you get started with that. Okay, let's see. Thank you a lot for doing this. Absolutely, honey. Market research, audience demand. This thing goes so fast that I cannot. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, advice for curvy. What? Hold on, y'all. This thing is tripping. I can't find anything. Y'all, I'm so sorry. This thing is just not working with me. Give me 2 seconds. But now I'm doing it. Okay, got that. Okay, so here's where I am. Okay, thanks for doing this. Okay, got it. Market. Okay, you're humble. This is the things. Aw, thank you, Ivy. That's really sweet. I really appreciate you. Thank you for that. Upwork to get clients. Let's talk about Upwork real quick. I don't want you to do it. I mean, okay. So Upwork, for those of you who don't know, is a freelance software, but most people are there to try to pay the least possible for services. So if you just want to kind of get your feet wet, is that a thing? Is that the saying? Get your feet wet? Yeah, it is. If you just want to get your feet wet, and kind of learn the process, okay. But Upwork and a lot of the freelance sites is mostly people who don't really want to pay for your skills. So understand this: when you're an entrepreneur, and a lot of people say, you know, I can't get people to pay my prices, then that was your fault, because you need to brand you and show that you know what you're doing in whatever said industry. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that with content. You can do that with just a YouTube channel and show people that you know what you're talking about. So for like, if I were just talking business, you could talk to me in 10 minutes and know I know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So whatever that industry is, just create the content so that you can show people that you know how to do whatever it is you're doing on Upwork well. And if you do it, particularly on YouTube, people will be able to find it, and then you'll start to kind of get the ball rolling. So I'm not sure what your industry is or what you're going to be doing on Upwork, but consider creating content that, and some of you, I know you don't want to be on camera. I get it. So you can just go to your computer software. You can use PowerPoint. You can use, if you're on Mac, you can use Keynote, and you can do a presentation like the bootleg one I put on the screen. You can do a presentation like this, and you can use a voiceover. See this mic? Just put a voiceover on it, and you can still teach, but you don't have to show your face. So don't think that you don't want to be on YouTube because you don't want to show your face. I know that's the issue for some people. I don't like showing my face either, but when you do it, people are able to understand your personality. So what you get right now on camera is who I am. And people may either want to work with that or not. But they'll be able to make that decision so that I know that people who want to work with me know what they're going to get. You know what I mean? So I want you to kind of consider that every piece of content that you put out is basically your 24-hour, 7 days a week salesperson. Because the more content that you put out there, the more opportunities people have to see you, particularly on YouTube. I know I feel like I keep pushing YouTube. And how long I've been on here? Am I doing this too long? Okay, we good. I know I keep pushing YouTube, but the reason why I say YouTube, because I have a business channel and all my clients are on YouTube because I almost require it. But understand, YouTube is more of an evergreen type of content where your Facebooks and your Instagrams, the content dies after 3 days. And you put all this work and time and energy into it, it dies. The content literally dies. So you can put something on YouTube and that thing is doing its thing for like years to come. So this is just a different ecosystem, which is why I recommend business owners to stay in that lane than your Facebook, Instagram type of things. And so the ecosystem is different as it relates to their motivator. Remember that Facebook and Instagram is a kind of like an intranet. So someone has to log in to be a part of this world. And in YouTube, that's not the case. People are just searching for things, and they're a more hot lead because they're actually searching for it. When someone logs into Facebook, they're not logging into Facebook to say, oh my God, I really want to buy something today. It's not really why they're on there. They're usually kind of trying to relieve get some entertainment or kind of, do whatever. So the way you do your customers and stuff is going to be different. That's some digital marketing thing that I'm not going to bore y'all with, but just know that. And that's why I'm always stressing YouTube first, if that makes sense. All right. Okay. Yes, your website is critical. But again, if you don't have a website, I recommend an email marketing software because then at least you can stay in contact with people. So if you don't have a website, most email marketing software will allow you to create a landing page. And the landing page where you can just give people that link and send them on over. So let's say you play the guitar, and you want to sell guitar lessons. Then you can play the guitar on YouTube. You can show basic things. And then in the bottom of YouTube, if you have an email marketing software, just put a link there. Say, if you're interested in doing like a group guitar class, just let me know and they'll sign up if they're interested. What the additional step that I would recommend that you do, because we're doing this for our Learning Portuguese class, which will start next month because I can't do nothing until the summit is over. I'm asking people, like, how do you want this class to kind of look? Do you want to log in? Do you want me to email them after the record? We're doing all those types of questions so that we can create a product that people want. You know what I mean? Like the sky's the limit, guys. Like this digital stuff is, you just got to be creative because you are brilliant. Like you are smart. You have been living on this earth for some time and you know some things. Okay. And some people want to know what you know and you can teach the people. Okay. All right. Fashion advice for, hey, Serena, I forgot what my question was when I forgot what you were answering. I'm assuming that's what your e-commerce site is, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm lost on that. It's 2 week free. Oh, this is my girl Tina. Hey Tina. Tina has an interview coming up too. Tina has been to like what, 29 countries, Tina. But she says Shopify has a free 2-week trial, and that is absolutely correct. You can create a e-commerce site with them. I feel like of all of the e-commerce sites that are out there, the big cartel and all that, Shopify is probably one of the better options. So e-commerce is a big thing. You just really got to do some things that I probably would have to do a whole separate training on. But yeah, she is absolutely correct. So thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. People have short attention spans. People have short attention spans and are lazy. They want to see what you can provide them within a few seconds of the video. Tops a blog most of the time. I agree with you, Thomas. Listen. And then too, like I'm a visual learner. I think like, so fun fact, I don't know how to use any of the electronics in Europe. Like none of them. So every time I would go into an Airbnb or whatever, I would have to go to YouTube to find out how to use the washer and how to use the stove. And what's the other thing? Dishwasher, stove. Oh, and the washing machine, because I don't know what the hell anything says. So listen, I need a video. Like if I had to read how to do it, no. I need to watch a video on how the hell I'm supposed to operate these machines in this house. So you're absolutely correct, Thomas. I agree with you totally. A cooking video on let me see. I used to have a cooking video on YouTube, deleted them because I don't want my face on YouTube. We'll try again. We'll give good and okay. Oh, thank you, honey. You listen with food so you don't technically have to show your face with food, but I want to know what the person who cooking this look like, because I'm interested. But technically, you could just have a camera on the food. There are plenty of cooking channels on YouTube that you don't see the cook. So don't let that don't let that be your thing. Okay. Thank you, honey. Are there any what did I say? Are there any demand for 3D artists in Portugal? I have no idea. Why would I know that, guys? I don't know. You got to Google that yourself, honey. I don't know about any of the industries in Portugal, especially industries I'm not in. So you're going to have to Google that, love. I have no idea. All right, listen, y'all better get on YouTube. If you don't want people to see your face, then just show the food. I had a Google Translate for the washing machine. Listen, I need to see the people. Okay, so wait, did I finish talking about what I need to finish? Okay, could you learn a new skill? Is there a software or business? See, look at, this is raggedy. Let me just bring this over. See, this is why I be coming on here. I don't know how y'all put up with me in this raggediness. Okay. Is there a software or business you currently use? Look at this. Use. Sorry, y'all. In your business or lifestyle. Don't come judging me on these daggone slides. I just throw them together. Okay, so is there a software or business you currently use in your business or lifestyle? This is why this is important. For many of my professionals, I really want you to consider this. So understand, most businesses or corporations will give you money for referring someone to them. So for example, in my business and at the Moving Abroad Summit, again, if you haven't registered, click the link down below to register for that, because I'm going to end up doing, I'm teaching 3 hours of content. So one of them is multiple sources of income for something. And I'm going to end up talking about this. And kind of the more word that you hear online is affiliate marketing, but I hate saying that word because YouTube and people online have made affiliate marketing this weird thing, but it is a thing. So you get money for referring people to various industries. Pretty much almost most companies do this. If there's any company, any retail company, you can scroll to the bottom of their screen, of their website, and show that it says pay for referrals, or we give referrals, or affiliate. Like, most companies do this. So the reason why I want you to consider if there's software that you use in your business, because if you're using it and you like it, you can get money and create an income stream based off you referring people to it. So for example, in my business, I do digital marketing. Majority of my business is software. I probably use 8 different softwares to run my business. And the ones that I like, I refer people to them, but I create training software so that people will know how to use that software so they can continue to stay engaged. So for example, if you are some form of doctor, there's a ton of stuff that you're using that you can put people on and get a referral for that. So I encourage you in your business to start thinking about the things that you're using, like really kind of think about those things and how you can solve a problem or create content for people who may need that same type of thing so you can refer them. Also, sometimes it's a matter of creating the relationships with people. So for example, here in Portugal, it's not as, real talk, the US, UK market, and Canada, we're pretty much internet obsessed. Most of the things and the buying decisions that we make come from the internet. That is not really the case here in Portugal. But because it's such a heavily tourist industry, I can connect tourists with vendors in Portugal and add a commission to that and make money that way. You follow what I'm saying? So I want you to think about ways that you can just connect people based on your job or where you are, and then how you can get paid for that. So that one, you don't even need a necessary skill. You just need to know how to work relationships. A lot of you who are doing recruiting, the same thing works. You just need to connect people with other businesses, and that business will pay you a fee for doing that. And if they're not already having something like that, you can ask them. You can go to businesses and say, listen, I got about 10 people who, might need this software. Can I get 20%? Just ask people. I mean, it's a real thing. So, okay, where are we? Learn how to use WordPress. Thomas, you were dropping nuggets, and I agree with you totally. Create a website, learn how to use WordPress. It has a lot of free. That is accurate. I will say I prefer WordPress for all your websites. I do know it's not user-friendly for everyone, but in the digital marketing space, if you want to go balls to wall with this, you need something that's going to give you access to the back end. And WordPress specifically, and Enrique and I talked about this a while, allows you to put information in the back end of your website. And so as you're marketing and as you're growing, you want to be able to look at analytics. You want to be able to see what people are doing who come to your website. If they leave, you want to know why they left. If they came in, how they got there. It's a series of analytics you're going to want to know. And if you have access to the back end, you can look more at customer behavior. So you can tell how long someone's watched the video, or if they scrolled to the middle of your website. And if they did, you can shoot them an email. Like it can get really interesting as it relates to digital marketing. But if you don't have access to the back end, and even though we're talking about getting a website, I do not recommend those free website companies. I think Wix may be one, because they don't give you all the access you need to the back end of your website. They just let you kind of put up pictures, write some stuff. But if you needed to know more analytical information to grow your business, they're not going to give you access to it. So Thomas, I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you're going to go balls to the wall with this, look into getting a WordPress website. And not the free WordPress website, not the WordPress, it'll say like your domain / WordPress. No, when you buy a hosting company, all of them will come with WordPress, and you can just upload WordPress to your hosting. If you heard that and you were like, what the hell is she talking about? Then we'll do that another time. Okay. Services similar to UPS pickup. I sell clothing. Are the services similar to you? Are their services similar to UPS pickup? I sell clothing online. I don't know. UPS pickup? I didn't even know there was a UPS pickup. Is that like FedEx or DHL? I have no idea, hon. You might have to Google that again. I'm not aware of that. Wear a mask on. Wearing no mask on YouTube. Okay, Squarespace. You can use Squarespace, but again, I'm always going to go WordPress. Etsy, income taxes and taxes in Portugal. Is that a question? Etsy store income and taxes in Portugal. Again, I know a lot of people have tax questions. I'm going to try to explain this. Just as though you were in the United States and no one can answer a blanket tax question for you for the United States, you can't do that in another country either, because it depends on your situation. It depends on, do you have kids? Are you W-2? Do you own a business? If you do, what's the entity type? Is it S Corp? Is it C Corp? You know what I mean? There is no one who can give you blanket tax information. And if they try to, be weary of that. Secondly, I am not a tax professional, so I wouldn't do that anyway. But when it comes to taxes, you have to go talk to a professional. You can't just talk to some person on the internet and get tax advice. Like, just call a tax accountant. It's going to be worth it because you don't want to get hemmed up later. But you have to be a lot more specific based on your current situation. Taxes is never a blanket answer, guys. It's not a blanket answer when you live in the United States. It's not a blanket answer when you live in another country. Okay, what is this? Do you speak Portuguese? Not yet. We're starting Portuguese classes next month. If you're interested, yeah, we're doing that. But right now we're just doing 20 students. Do you pay for Portuguese classes? I will. How important is the knowledge of a local language? Always. Having knowledge of the local language is important in most countries you go to, because it's going to allow you to kind of get into the culture and not feel so isolated. And for those of us who have moved abroad, isolation is a big thing if you don't deal with it. And it just will make you feel like, for me, I moved out of city center, so I need Portuguese a little bit more than I did before. And I know my experience would be completely different and better if I spoke the language. Now, granted, I've been here for a year, so I have friends and I know people. So it's a little less isolating than it was when I first moved here. I totally agree that you should take Portuguese lessons. Guys, if you are interested, once the summit is over, give me a minute. Once the summit is over, I'll talk more. We're going to be doing Portuguese together. We're going to learn Portuguese together, because I know a lot of you are moving to Portugal or you're in Portugal and you want to know Portuguese. And Sally, she was on the channel a while ago. She's going to be our instructor. So I don't speak Portuguese yet, but hopefully I'll be learning it. Okay. How can we join the class? Okay. I should have been better prepared for this, but I'm not. So there's a link. You can sign up for your interest, and we're going to ask a series of questions, because right now we're still building it. So Joe, when this is over, hopefully I'll put the link to join in the description box when this stream is over. Okay. So just come back, look in the description box, and I'll put Portuguese classes, sign up. I didn't think to do that right now, so forgive me. Okay. I'm switching off now, but losing. I'm switching not because I'm losing. Oh, thank you, honey. You were up to 1:40 a.m. listening to me run my mouth. I appreciate you. Am I on LinkedIn? Nah, honey, but I need to do it. Francine, hey, love, good to see you. In Portugal, you pay tax heavy year on income you have. In Portugal, you pay tax year on income you have in the year. So again, that's going to depend on a lot of things, hon. So if, like, for me, I make my money in the US, I don't make my money in Portugal. So taxes, you can't just give a blanket statement, because if you don't make money in Portugal, you're taxed differently. If you are making your money in Portugal, you're going to get taxed. And if you're depending on what country you come from. So you see how it's impossible to give an answer, because it depends on so much. It depends on what country you're coming from. It depends on like a lot of things. Are you a business? Are you not a business? Like, what country the income that you're making comes from. So guys, it's not that I'm trying to be a jerk when I don't answer your question about taxes, but again, I ain't a tax professional. So one, that's why. And two, it's not a blanket information. So let me make sure, can you create leads? Okay, so we did that. Concentrate on how you can solve a problem or introduce people to the problem solver. So again, as you try to brainstorm this new direction you're trying to go with having online income, consider like, what problems are you solving and who are you solving them for? And let's say you can't solve the problem, but you know the people or the company or the solution, and you connect those two things and you make a commission off of that. So I'm not sure if anyone else put their industry in there. Hey, Linda. Host, to find a remote position in tech field working in cybersecurity. My particular job title is information system security. So, Trisha, we got to talk about who your actual audience is. Like, who would be hiring you? Like, would it be government agencies? Would it be businesses? And if it is businesses, you got to be specific as to how much revenue these businesses make. Are we talking about $5 million or more? Are we talking about $10 million companies? And then from that, you got to go online. You have to show what it is you do, so that if you wanted to do business with Africa, or you want to do business with Sweden, or you want to do business, they need to be able to see what it is you do. And you have to explain that in the systems that you created. If you are working for a corporation versus working for yourself, doing some of that may create some problems. So you got to check your contract to see if there's a conflict of interest. If there is not a conflict of interest, you just have to be online to say what you do. I hope that makes sense. Currently work in the finance field, but also have expertise. You guys are so smart. You out here doing it. I love it. Hey there, Linda. Linda currently works in the finance field. And again, Linda, you saying you work in the finance field is very general. You can be anything from a hedge fund manager to an accountant to, you know what I mean? So talk to me be a little bit more specific. And it is because when you're trying to transition online, you gotta be specific for SEO reasons, and so that your customer can actually find you. And so when you say you're in a particular field, you have to be able to easily state, maybe that's what I should get you guys to do, to state what benefit you provide your customer. And then that way I can help you figure out how to show them that. Maybe that's the direction we go. Let me think about that. So yeah, tech industry as a data analyst, but also I'm working in real estate investing. Did I already answer that? Oh yeah, I think I already answered. Did I already answer some of these? I'm sorry. I think I answered some of these. My bad, y'all. Girl, this stuff goes all over the place. They might use it to bring content to people. Okay. Let's see what this says. People have short attention. Okay. Teresa, I'm thinking of YouTube as well to bring content to people. Of course, it's another source of income eventually. I think right now I'm thinking how to bring content to people, yet still draw boundaries. Boundaries, I don't understand. Boundaries for what, hon? What are we doing on time? Oh, okay, we gotta get ready to go. Cinnamon, is your business a virtual assisting business? It is not. It's a digital marketing company. Well, one of them are. Not one of my companies is a virtual assistant. My company is a digital marketing company. Hey there, baby. New to the channel. Welcome to the family, hon. Great. Would love to chat. Would love and can't wait to see the video. Okay, great. All right, I think we're done. Are we have connecting videos? Okay, because I went back to the old questions. Thank you, Thomas. I hope you got a YouTube channel dropping all this knowledge you drop. Perhaps Portugal. I think I'm becoming a concierge Leon. Ooh. Hey there. Look at my audience. They're so brilliant up here being doctors and stuff. I'm a U.S. medical doctor planning a transition to Canada and then eventually perhaps Portugal. I love it, honey. Okay, I'm Portuguese, but living in England for the last 20 years. One business is Portugal still. Okay, cool. Well, hope you are loving England. Um, It seems like a lot of these YouTubers have to show their life in order to gain interest with people. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think what you have to realize is what industry you're in. If you're used to looking at lifestyle or beauty brands or stuff like that, I mean, that's what they do. But there are understand YouTube has a series of knowledge. There are language YouTube channels. They not showing their family. There are technical YouTube channels that show their life. My business YouTube channel, people don't know nothing about me. I mean, they don't know about my personal life. So don't let that be a limiting belief, because it's not true. There are a variety of channels that focus on the niche in which they are in, and they're not necessarily showing their life. So if you are looking at a particular industry, which that's what they do, that's one thing, but you got to understand, like, there's YouTubes of people just farming and auto mechanics and all. I mean, it's just a plethora of stuff. So that's what I mean by boundaries. I don't want to show any of that. You don't have to show it, love. Like, you ain't got to show nobody nothing you want to. So don't ever think that that's a thing. Digital marketing. Can you build? No, I don't do that. We do marketing. Well, we don't build websites. So, yeah, so I cannot build your website. I can give you some resources, but that's not what my company does, honey. All right, I think that is all the questions. I hope this was helpful, guys. Again, if you haven't signed up for the Moving Abroad Summit, do that. I will spend an hour talking about this, breaking it down for you guys. So, and it's pretty intimate, and so you guys can come on camera with me and we could talk about it. Wait, what is that? I'm looking for a bit worried at succeeding as I don't have any. Let me see if I understand this question. I said, hello, I come from a writing background. I'm looking to apply to a CV writing job. That's like resumes, right? I think I learned that's what CVs are. Is that a resume writing job? I'm a bit worried at succeeding as I don't have any recruitment knowledge per se. Any advice? So do you have experience helping people with their resumes, getting people jobs? Because if you do, then it's just a matter of kind of creating that and doing that and showing testimonies and giving tips about that. So let's say you wanted to do resume writing, which I'm assuming the CV is. You can, create content as to what components help people have a better resume. So if you don't know that, you don't necessarily have to have recruiting experience, but you need to know what makes resumes better, because that's what you're trying to do. So you can give those types of tips. And if people are like, you're going to have two types of customers. You're going to have people that don't want to pay for anything and they want to do it themselves, and that's fine. They're not necessarily going to be your customers. But some people, like, let's say myself, if I had to go get a resume, like, I haven't had one in years, I wouldn't want to do it myself. So I would pay someone to do it. That's the kind of customer that you would want. But that customer has to know that you know what you're talking about. And that's where kind of content helps. Content helps fill in the gaps to let your customer know what the experience would be like working with you, and that you know what you're talking about. So if you create that content in such a way, that is what helps you get in some of the sales. Don't be insecure about not having recruitment, but you do need to be knowledgeable on what are the things necessary to make a resume, to make a resume stand out, or CV stand out. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much, P.I. I appreciate you. Thank you, Aisha. What's the time schedule for presenters? Hey there, I'm assuming you're talking about the Moving Abroad Summit. So if you registered, you would have gotten a schedule. So if you're registered for the free summit, all of those are going to be in the morning for Eastern Standard Time. I think you said your time is Cali. Yeah, so all of those are going to be on Eastern Standard Time. So the general session is going to be recorded and it'll stay up there for a week. So if you are not able to attend, it'll still be there. Now, if you wanted if you're asking the schedule for the presenters for teaching the upgraded courses, again, this is going to be a live event. So the schedule, again, is emailed to you once you register, because shoot, it's probably 30 hours of content. So depending on what upgrade package you do, you can either do that you just attend, and then some of them you can actually get the recordings. So it just depends. But if you've already registered, you've been sent the schedule. All right. Do you have anything about the film? Do I know anything about the film industry in Portugal? I do not. Is it unique seeing African Americans living abroad? Well, I hope we start to make it normal. Knowing England is like in the USA, I'm paying too much tax here. I work for one American company and wasn't paying tax back. Oh, okay. Good to know. All right, guys, I'm going back working on this summit. I hope to see you all there. I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to kind of hop on here and deal with the question that people are having about how do they make their business digital. So, are there spas here? I don't know, honey. You got to Google it. All you have to do is go to Google, type spas, and type Portugal. I would have no idea how many spas are here, love heart. You gotta do that research yourself. I'm not gonna know anything industry specific, especially if I'm not in that industry. So just Google it, okay? All right, loves. I'm tired and I still got work to do. So I'm out of here. I hope this was helpful. And I appreciate you all so much.